Going? What email to you right now? Open it. Just email it to you.
Okay. Peace, family, peace and blessings to everybody. I'm so excited to welcome you because this is the discussion that needs to be had. I just flipped it on to the first thing.
Don't care about no damn sea lions.
I know, right?
Come on, man.
They're so behind the times. They're so antique.
We clobber them.
Yeah.
Just clobber them joints. But ow.
Yeah.
Peace.
Greetings to everybody. Let me get the chat room.
Let's go to the title page. What are we talking about today?
We're talking about life and death. Life and death.
What's
Let's
the
see
meme?
how.
What's the meme?
Okay, I know what I need to do. I need to do that, and then I could get.
So I can see what I'm supposed to be talking about. Yeah, there we
go. There we go. There we go.
Planes, trains, and particle radiation.
All right.
That's what's up.
There we go. And now I could get my favorite chat box. Peace, beloved brother. Akil Jamal Shabazz Z Amaru X Ali. It is good to have you here. And peace
to God.
Dear sister Celestia Danes, always sharing that knowledge with me. Thank you so much, sister. Thank you so much. I'm just really excited. So sometimes that can interrupt my words because I'm so busy with that emotion of excitement that I don't know what to say next because I'm feeling so many things all at the same time. To have Dr. Z join me on this discussion is an absolute treasure because this brother watches me. He's watched me for 14 years now, or it's been 12 years since Fukushima. He's watched me just slowly get caught up in understanding all of this. And he said to me this morning, which was absolutely phenomenal. He said, I think you know what you're talking about.
You might just know what you're talking about here. You might be on to something.
Yes, that
might be on to something here.
Wow.
Possibly, quite possibly.
Quite possibly.
No doubt.
It's a chance. It's a chance.
Yeah. Well, the issue is that, especially now in the last, I guess since the beginning of this year, I've seen a whole lot of black folks talking about disasters all of a sudden. You know what I'm saying? Damn chicken coops is burning down. There ain't no damn baby formula. Another train derailed and the plane crashed. I'm like, why is all these black folks in the disaster capitalism all of a sudden? You know what I'm saying? Because y'all ain't really been concerned for the last 12 years about no disaster, about no real disasters. You know what I'm saying? So what's going on with the media is they following the tune of the white boys. As usual, they following the white boys. The white boys like to talk about these plane crashes and stuff like that. And these, oh my God, another food processing center has had a plane fly into it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like that's a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? Like a food processing center being destroyed in this country is a bad thing. That's a good thing. Because the processed food is what's goddamn killing you out here is the processed food. Right? Like there's a shortage of formula is a bad thing. That's a good thing.
Right. To let you know.
Because that baby formula is toxic to our children. Right. It's designed, first of all, the baby formula is designed for white children. It doesn't even take into consideration the melanated, the melanated body. All right. So you ain't doing nothing but slowing your babies down with this formula. All right. So all these disasters, these people, white folks, is my quote unquote white people are excited about is what you're parroting. Like all the technology that they're talking about is what you parroting. They say NFT, your niggas say NFT. Ooh, NFTs, you gonna buy a house with NFT. You can pay, you can water your crops with NFTs. You know what I'm saying? Like everything they talking about, Bitcoin, everything they want, everything they putting out there, they got these Negroes jumping on and promoting to our people like it's some type of salvation. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like they really concerned, like these Negroes is really concerned about disasters.
I know.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all ain't really concerned about no disasters.
No. Right.
Y'all ain't concerned about no disasters. Not in that aspect of really wanting to do nothing about it. You ain't concerned like that. You're concerned to the point that you can get some attention for talking about it. That's different. Yes. See, this is white people talking because you know you're imitating slave. You're always into imitating the slave master or the oppressor. You're always imitating. You want to be like them. You want to talk whatever they're talking about. You want to talk about blah blah blah. Everybody's talking about the CDC currency now, and I'm like, nigga, I told you 2-3 years ago that was nonsense. All this Bitcoin was nothing but to set you up for the damn.
Ball.
Well, all that Bitcoin stuff was nothing but a setup to get you into this digital currency. That's all it was. Right. I'm talking about 3-4 years ago. I done told you that.
I know. That's on my own channel.
Yeah.
Yes.
On, it's all been a setup. And now you're all up in arms like this is a big. No, it ain't no big deal. First of all, you've been using digital currency. When the last time you even pull out a dollar? Most of you all use your credit card for everything. Anyway.
Credit card is just
your company don't pay you cash. Like when I was young, my company used to pay me cash.
Oh, really?
They give me cash as my pay. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have to go to the bank or nothing. When the last time you got some cash from a company you work for?
Never.
You go and put it in the bank, and you don't take no cash out of the bank. Most of y'all,
right?
You've been using digital currency. It's just a ledger mark on a piece of paper on a computer,
and all based on fractional reserve.
Exactly.
Banking.
So you've been using digital currency all this time anyway. So ain't nothing to get upset about the Fed coin or whatever they're gonna call it for. The Gov coins. That's what they really call government coins. That's what they called them 3 years ago when I was talking about it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, but yeah, the Fed coin, whatever they want to call it. Not to get into banking, but it's all connected. It's all related, and it ain't but one bank in the United States of America, and or you deal with their branches. The one bank is the Federal Reserve Bank. It says so on the money. You just deal with their branch, and you call it Bank of America. You call it Wells Fargo. You call it TD Bank. Whatever you call it.
And in China, they call it the social credit system, which is what they want. Is just to have control over people, and that's all connected to what we're discussing. Because it's about capturing our attention, capturing our every single movement so that we don't pay attention to what they're actually doing.
And also, you don't pay attention to what you can do. Right. Forget what they're doing. They're going to do what they've been doing. Right. They've been doing the same shit for 6,000 years. You think they're going to change because you found out about it?
They can't change.
No, you got them to try to decide what you're going to do. That's what this should always be about, not what they're going to do. In other words, you just reacting to whatever they do. You have no plan, no activity, no design, nothing besides responding to what they do. So what's that called?
Reaction.
That's called a slave. That's called a piece. That's called a dust mote. It's laying around waiting for somebody to move so you can get. So maybe the wind from their movement will move you a little bit. You know what I'm saying? No, man, you're supposed to be the Becquerel. All right? You're supposed to be flipping atoms, bro. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to be the atom. That Becquerel is the power of the atom flipping the sand, a grain of sand, right?
One atom. That's right.
Yeah. You're supposed to be the Becquerel. You're supposed to be generating that energy to flip that atom.
To flip that action.
Which is exponentially larger than yourself.
Yes. You can't see a million atoms on the tip of a pin, but you can't see one grain of sand.
Yes.
And a Becquerel in radiation is the power of that one atom to flip an entire grain of sand. That's power.
That's a lot of power.
Yeah.
All right. So that's the kind of exponential stuff we're talking about doing here. All that other stuff, the white folks is doing it, the white folks are saying it. Bitcoin, all that nonsense, all that stuff is just busy work for slaves.
It's as almost they want you so afraid as if the whole universe won't work without them.
Yes, that's exactly. That's called school. That's called education. That's called colonization. All right, that's what it's called. It's called colonization. All right. So and they publicizing all these disasters on the news. Why? Because the biggest one they don't talk about. You know what I'm saying? Yes. Why they concerned about a little river in freaking in Ohio getting polluted when they ain't concerned about whole oceans getting polluted? You know what I'm saying? And mind you, ain't no rivers can run out or tap out or dry up. All right? This ocean ain't drying up, and ain't no walls on the ocean either. As a matter of fact, it's only one ocean. They just named the damn thing different parts. Right. It's one ocean. Right. You know, ain't that's the Atlantic. Oh, no, that's the Pacific Ocean. No, that's the ocean. What's the other one? Indian Ocean. No, they're different places. No, they the same freaking place, bro. Right. All right. Ain't no walls between the oceans. What's the wall between the Atlantic Ocean and the Pacific Ocean? What's that called?
Well, people like to think of it as the continental Americas.
Yeah,
but the range. That's the whole thing is that all of these systems are interconnected and the Pacific Ocean goes dipping down.
The water flows around these
South
bodies.
America.
It's like the water flows around these bodies.
Exactly.
All right. They're not stopped by these bodies.
Exactly.
They flow around. All right. That's all that is. All right. So what's polluting one ocean is going to pollute the other oceans, quote unquote. And all the way around, right? Because they got this thing called the the stream. What's they call the Gulf Stream? All these streams. Oh, the
currents.
The current. They got these things called currents. They got these things called currents in the ocean. If you ever study the slave trade from Africa to the United States, they didn't just go straight across. They had to follow the currents.
Right. It's not like they could just cut a highway
not with no sailing boat.
Nah,
they could. Right. That would slow them down.
Yeah.
It's faster to follow the currents.
Mm-hmm.
Like the little white boy who went from the little Swedish boy that went from South America to, did he go to NI? He went somewhere. I think he went to Africa too. The other way.
Mm-hmm.
All right. He took the currents.
Mm.
All right. Of course, he didn't have a sailboat. Right. He had a raft, basically. I think he might have had a sail, but it was basically a raft. And he took the currents from South America all the way to the other side.
And you navigate the whole freaking planet.
Yes, because he was like, how are they doing this? Because like Dr. Ali told us, the slave trade, you got it going backwards. It went the other way. All right. We would take it from here first. All right.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Columbus took the natives from here to Europe first.
Yes, that I know.
All right. That's the way it went first. All right. So not the other. So that's how it started. And then they got involved with our brothers and sisters on the, well, some of them are enemies. Our enemies on the continent. Our enemies on the continent got involved and started winding us up and shipping us our asses over here.
Right.
All right. As well as our brothers and sisters was already here already.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. Because we had already been circumnavigating this planet already.
Yes.
So we already had places. We were native. We are native to everywhere. That's the point I'm trying to make. Yeah. We're not foreigners. We're not aliens on any land.
Right. Which doesn't make any sense whatsoever when you figure that all just the pale folks were the first ones.
No, they're not native to any, and they're not native to anywhere.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? They're not native to anything.
And it occurs to me, because this has been a difficult issue for me to accept, which is that we were here already also. Mm-hmm. And that's when I see the actual ancient artwork. They never painted Asians as deep, deep, deep brown. Mm-hmm. But you'll see all this artwork where they paint us deep, deep, deep brown.
Yeah.
And I just thought to myself, that's not an accident. It's not like they couldn't think of another color.
And remember that a lot of those paints have faded.
Right.
Right. So they look deep, deep brown now. Who imagine what they looked like when they were fresh? Right. All right. Mm-hmm. Because we know that stuff fades. So let's keep it real. Mm. All right. So what we want to talk about is, like I said, with all these disasters going on, let's go back to a real disaster that sister been talking about for the last 12 years that is really affecting everything around you. Mm. All right. Not localized areas, but can affect you wherever you are on the planet, literally.
Yeah.
All right. Like if you go to that PowerPoint I sent you.
Oh, okay. Let me hit.
Yeah.
Go on over and get that.
Yeah, just open that up right quick so we get. Mm-hmm. So I want to give you a foundation for what we're talking about, so you can see where I'm stealing all my information from.
That's good by me.
All right.
Ooh, okay. Here we go. And does it go to the next one?
It's only
it's just this one?
No, it's 6 pages.
So I can't go to the next one. Yeah. Oh, wait.
Drag it to your desktop so you have it.
Oh, okay. How do you have to do that for me? I don't know how to drag it to my desktop. My apology.
Just a minute, family. Technical difficulties.
Yes, I learned something new.
What is this? Why is Rumble opening that up?
I don't know. Oh, that's my. Oh, you must have accidentally clicked my Rumble.
Oh, there we go.
Okay. All right. Cool. Okay, I got to go back and.
Yeah, I'm sorry, fam. There we go.
Back to the screen share. Okay. Thank you for being patient, family. I wasn't planning on this as a career. I just was like, wait a minute, they're trying to kill us. I got to do something. And there we go. And Here we go. All right.
Messing up my flow.
All right. Here, let me bring this over to you. That's going to make a noise with the mic.
Yeah. So everybody see that, right? No, that's all right. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The point is that I'm getting everything from this book. This is a book right on our website, 25000yearcycle.org. It's an ebook. You can download it. You can get a hard copy. You just go to 25000yearcycle.org, look for Furnace of Affliction. But the point we're trying to make is that with this, matter of fact, on my website, I have an excerpt from the book. It's called, Hey, Maybe It's Not the Jab. You need to read that article because it's actually an excerpt from this book that so it gives you, and it's about what is Fukushima, right? It talks about Fukushima Daiichi power plant in Japan and how the tsunami hit it and destroyed it. There was a nuclear meltdown, pouring tons and tons of radioactive material into the ocean every day for the last over 12 years.
Yeah.
All right. And I'm not talking about 10 tons. It's like of the amount of almost 400 tons of radioactive waste into the ocean every day for over 12 years. All right. Most people don't understand radiation, so they don't understand how damaging it is. All right. Like here, this is what I want to talk about. Bioaccumulation is the process in which pollutants are absorbed and stored in living organisms. Chronic exposure over long periods may lead to bioaccumulation. Initial exposure may have been to concentrations too low to cause problems, but accumulation of a pollutant may result in poisoning. Stop right there. The problem with radiation, there's no small dosage that's not problematic. Right. They all cause damage. So that little, don't worry, it's just a little x-ray today for your tooth. That's damaging radiation.
And the x-ray is a wave, so it goes through you.
Exactly.
Particle radiation,
yes,
is a physical piece.
Yes. So what we have is a nuclear power plant, which has never been cut off, constantly spewing particle radioactive material into the ocean. All right. Now, on its initial explosion, basically in 2011, what did it spew into the air, Queen?
Plutonium, americium, cesium, strontium, like nearly over 2,000 different isotopes, and the overwhelming majority skipped Japan and hit the West Coast. That's why you see all that crazy stuff.
Now, when it exploded, how fast did it go and how far up did it go?
Within 2 days, it was detected in the United States and in Canada. And within, I do believe, 14 days, it was detected all over the circumference of the Northern Hemisphere. Within 30 days, it had covered even the Southern Hemisphere.
That's right. Now, so when this power plant exploded, let's not forget this. We're not even talking about the spewing into the ocean right now. When it exploded, it projected all these particles of radiation. Where?
Everywhere.
Where'd it go? Up to where?
An atmosphere, the troposphere.
The troposphere, yes.
That's where airplanes cruise.
Yes.
And it's called the Wigner effect.
Now, these radioactive particles, like you say, they are not waves. They're not like 5G that everybody's worried about. That goes right through you. X-rays go right through you. All right. Radio signals go right through you. TV signals go right. All this stuff is waves you're dealing with, energy fields that you constantly in contact with. All right. Particle radiation does not go right through you. It embeds itself into you. And what does it want to do?
Decay.
Yes. All it does is break things down. It's going to break your cells down wherever it lodges itself. All right. Part of the radiation is designed to destroy, to age, basically. That's how it breaks it down. That means it dries it out. It's heat. It dries it out and breaks it down and ages it.
Yeah.
To uselessness. All right.
Yeah.
That's what's going on. It's like it's like watching a house decay in 5 minutes. All right. Watching it crumble in 5 minutes. or 10 minutes, or in some limited split, or even a day. That's a high rate of decay, right?
Yes.
All right. But this is the power of these particles.
And they last far longer than your life.
Exactly. And they will shorten your life because they build up and they store themselves and they fool your body into thinking it's what? Nutrition. So what minerals do they imitate? Calcium and
potassium. And
what you need potassium for?
For your heart,
lungs. That's right. Your heart and your lungs.
Every organ uses
calcium. What's that for?
For your bones.
Your bones. All right. Your teeth.
Yeah.
All right.
That's why they did a test where they called it baby teeth, radioactive baby teeth, and they got all the children in the United States who knew about it to send in the baby teeth. And that's what got them to stop doing above ground testing.
Yes.
Was because they were finding strontium, which imitates calcium, in the baby teeth.
Yes. Strontium, which imitates calcium. Strontium is in this milk that you're drinking. This cow milk y'all like? Yes.
Yeah.
It's going to accumulate in the cow milk. All right. Because they're not doing anything to prevent it from accumulating in the cow milk. They're talking about shooting up the damn cows with mRNA. They ain't talking about using boron to clean out the cows. All right?
Yeah, they don't. They did that in Hawaii.
Yes.
Right after the explosion.
I think I saw that in that book.
Yeah. Exactly.
Right? They're not talking about cleaning the cows out. They're not talking about this at all. They're telling you about a little river in Ohio. When you have a whole ocean that's full of potentially deadly particle radiation. All right. Now, the ocean ain't stupid. It's going to try to clean itself out. And what does it use to do that?
The sea vegetables.
Sea vegetables. Yes. Sea vegetables. Yes. Like sea moss and seaweed and kumbu and dulse and wakame. These things, they're all sea vegetables.
Yeah.
All right. They are being used by the ocean to soak up because they are bioaccumulators. Also, because they're bioaccumulating plants like hemp and sunflower. The sea vegetables do the same thing. They help purify the ocean, because what happens is they start bioaccumulating. They're in the phytoplankton, and they're also in the ocean floor. All right. So they're still trying to soak up all this stuff, all these toxins. They're trying to clean out the ocean, and you trying to eat some sea moss for health. Yeah. Oh no, take this, bro. Take this, sis. You need a little sea moss. Yeah. No. You might want to double check that sea moss, fam. You might want to check that wakame and that dose, and you know what I'm saying?
And you can't use the parts per million meter.
No.
You need a spectrogram. And a Geiger counter won't do it either, because the water that's in that vegetation is going to mask the signature of the radiation.
Absolutely. So what do you do with the disaster that's unspoken of? How do you deal with a disaster that's not spoken of? All right. You're going to need a doctor. All right. That's why we here. Right. All right. Right. That's why we here. That's what we got 25,000yearscycle.org for. All right. Because we can help you with these problems. Because a lot of these autoimmune disorders you're going through, they ain't necessarily got to be from anything, but let's understand something. You've been exposed to radiation way before 2012 now.
Yes.
All right. They've been experimenting on your ass in this country since they discovered this little radiation thing.
Yes.
All right. They've been leaving radiation in trains. They've been leaving stuff in trains. They sprayed a whole damn project in St. Louis with radiation to see what the effects was going to be. All right.
The federal milk program.
Yes.
Block cheese.
Yes. Dairy, yes. They've been experimenting your ass for a long time. So if you're going to be eating that standard American diet, and you're going to have all your intestines and all your everything clogged up so you can't absorb any nutrition, because you need nutrition to fight radiation. Without proper nutrition, you can't fight radiation. Do I have to say that again? Yes, I will. Without proper nutrition, you can't fight radiation. Because when you don't have proper nutrition, it makes it easier for the radiation to mask itself as potassium and calcium and embed itself in your body, because the body is starving from the nutrition that you don't have, because your diet is soda and potato chips and pizza and fried chicken. Yeah. All right.
Each year I had learned, and I did, the more I do this, the more information I take in. But each year, the only race of people whose babies are born at a lighter and lighter birth weight, low birth weight, is Black us. That's it. Yeah. Not even amongst the Hispanic women.
Of course, you're on an anti-melanin diet. So your advantage has already been destroyed.
Well, I think it's even beyond that, because almost everybody's eating the same amount.
No. I'm saying that's going to hurt you worse.
Yeah, it's going to hurt us worse. Yeah. But at the same time, I think it is a measure of them making a trajectory through, like the federal milk program, of radioactive substances, radioactive foods.
They're going to sell it to you for sure. They're going. That's why they got the Dollar Tree.
Right.
And the Family Dollar.
Because you got stuff up in there. You don't see it any place else.
You can't eat out of these places. I see young people eating stuff. Bro, that ain't no food you need to be eating in no Dollar Tree. All right. So they already know that. Everybody knows already they're sending the worst of the worst to our communities. Right. Because nobody else is going to buy it, number one. Or they don't want to get caught selling it because the penalty would be too high. They get caught selling it here, they ain't gonna be that much of a penalty. Yeah. So they take their chances. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So that's what's going on there. Yes.
You got companies buying the crappiest ingredients, which means that they're going to be coming from places that would potentially be radioactive
and have very low standards for food quality.
Exactly.
Yes. That's how they keep the prices low.
Right here.
That's right. So yes, you're gonna have to be on your toes to deal with this. And you got to change your thinking to deal with this. All right. Go to the next slide.
Okay.
All right. So you got bioaccumulation and biomagnification. Two different things. Bioaccumulating is I'm eating the same crap every day, and over time, I just store more and more. All right. Biomagnification is I eat a little fish, a bigger fish eats that fish, a little fish eats some plankton, a bigger fish eats that fish, a bigger fish eats that fish, they ate the plankton, they ate the fish, they ate the plankton. All right. And you start getting the magnified amount of toxins from these animals at the top of the food chain, you get the most. Because you done ate from the one that ate the smallest one.
Exactly.
That's biomagnification.
Yes.
That's what's going on with that. That's why you're not supposed to be eating high on the food chain. This environment is very toxic. Even without the quote unquote radiation, which is everywhere, the environment is so toxic and the food is so toxic. The lower you eat on the food chain, the safer the food is.
Exactly. Because even though you may be eating a nutrient-rich diet, you're still ingesting what would potentially be highly radioactive, and it has to be processed in your gut.
Yes.
There's a lot of gut-related cancers and disorders coming up. That's what our brother Chadwick Boseman was taken out by. A lot of people suffering these same things. And I always think that's where the radiation pools there in your gut.
And that's why I made the Real Detox Kit, because it's going to start with your gut.
That's right.
It's going to start with cleaning out your gut. Then we can clean out your liver and your pancreas and your gallbladder and your kidneys and your blood.
So all those organs can function.
Yes.
To keep you healthy and strong and radiation free.
Exactly. See, we got the solutions for this already. Everything is already in play. All right. It's not an action reaction. This is how we live. This is our system. We've had this for thousands of years. This is our system. We are reapplying it. Because in our infinite wisdom, we knew there was some dumb shit getting ready to come down the road. All right? Because that's how we do. We just like our planet moves in a 25,000 year cycle. We write our history in a 25,000 year cycle. We write the history before it comes to pass. All right. So we wrote this history 15,109 years ago, 110, something like that. This plan has already been written up. We prepared. In other words, we prepared ourselves for it. The preparation to deal with the time is in the people here already. That's the point I'm trying to make. You're not here unprepared. The answer to your problem is already in existence.
Yes. Yes.
All right?
Yes.
Because we don't plan like that. We don't wait for shit to happen and make up a plan for it. No. We see it coming and have countermeasures already in place.
That's what made me look for the remedies. Because I said, wait a minute. White man thinks he has the power to destroy us and the earth. And I said, nah, that sounds a little bit too flattering to him. And that's when I'd heard word of different things you could do. And the more research I do, the more I find out, like in the crime of Chernobyl. Oh, I recommend that book. They shut down the scientists who discovered they could get it. Doesn't, if you are in an environment that is radioactive, that does not impact your inner sanctum if you are eating what will chelate the radiation out. But doing what would even be like these creatures, the Dead Sea lions that I showed at the outset, they're not eating at McDonald's. They're not eating anything but their natural diet.
Well, what's available to
exactly. So you have to do extra to get the radiation out. That is what Furnace of Affliction is for. Because yes, you can eat healthy, but as I said, that radiation is going right on into your gut. So you need that detox. Fish don't know anything about detox. Birds, who I was reading, my new one, Deadly Deceit, where with Chernobyl, there were tens of thousands of birds that died according to where the Chernobyl radiation went. And they were just eating their natural diets. You have to take extra measures which can be employed. And that's why they shut Chernobyl down, because they didn't want anybody to know that there were ways to mitigate this stuff out of your body and your environment.
So when they know all these things already, and they know first of all, they've been hiding the truth about particle radiation for 100 years.
Yeah.
Literally, they really don't want you to know about it. I think, like I said, that's why they got Spider-Man and the Hulk and stuff like that, to make you think this radiation will give you superpowers and stuff like that. I remember he's watching that little clip, and the lady got this new slave technology they call authentication, which is just slave technology. You're going to take this pill, and it's going to make your whole body an authentication system for your bank and for your cell phone, stuff like that. It's just slave technology. New way to put a collar on your ass. That's all it is. But she said this is my superpower.
Yeah, she put it in comic book terms.
Yes, and that's how you think. Your ass thinks in comic book terms. That's why you don't know what's going on. All right? That's how they got you thinking. They have infantilized you. You're thinking comic book terms, bro. Sister. That's why you don't know what's going on. They talk, anytime you talking about, when you hear anybody talking about, the good guys and the bad guys, they're talking to you like a child. They're infantilizing you. All right? Listen to the language. They have disdain for you. That's what they're showing you. Let me talk to these guys like a 5-year-old. See, the good guys with the white hats and the bad guys with the black hats. You know what I'm saying? They have no respect for you. You've let these cats infantilize you for the last 3 years, and you ain't say shit about nothing about it. All right? And then you're going to go back and sit down and clap for these Negroes now and vote for them again for infantilizing you and trivializing you and locking you up, shutting down your life, your liberty. You're going to go vote for their asses again.
And nobody's going to
ain't nobody apologize for nothing. They ain't even don't even care enough to apologize. Oh, you know what? I was wrong about such and such. Cats dropping like they ain't got to apologize like that.
You remind me of an article that I got, which I was just like, that's exactly what it is. Judge throws out lawsuit accusing Alaska of mismanaging the Yukon River, Kuskokwim salmon fisheries. So they're not mismanaging anything. The fish are just gone. They're dead. I talked about another article where all these fishermen were out there trying to catch it, and they were catching like 2-3 fish. And so they have shut down all of these different fisheries. A lot of the native people are there, and they're not explaining the reason why all the fish are gone. And so they want to complain and say, wait a minute, we have a right to eat. This is the way we make our living. And look what they do. They just preempt everybody, and they just throw the whole case out of court. You can't even ask the daggone question.
Well, it's easy to throw it out if you ain't asking the right question. If you got to make a case, it's got to be based on something. You got to make a case that's related to the crime.
And they may even have, because what I've read about the Radium girls, they may even have lawyers who they're working for the other side, but pretending that they're not.
Definitely. Who's going to tell you why the fish ain't here?
Yeah.
Well, it's just a bad catch. We ain't catch nothing. We ain't caught nothing.
Why? It's
hole in the net.
Yeah, global warming.
Yeah, exactly.
An act of God.
And so it's easy for him to throw it out, because if he go out there and there's no fish, then how am I mismanaging the fishery? If there's no fish for me to manage. Wow. Duh. Come on, that's easy one to throw out. You're going to get that thrown out.
Right.
No, they supposed to be suing TEPCO.
Right. Well, they had the Navy sailors try to sue TEPCO, and that was also
thrown out. I just won. I'm just saying, everybody's supposed to be suing TEPCO.
Right.
Not just one lawsuit. Should be 100,000 lawsuits against TEPCO and General Electric.
Right. Because we're all about the planes and the trains and all those catastrophes happening, and we're not about what's actually going on. That, because what you told me when it comes to those oil explosions, that's just common. I think oil explosion. Let's see. Let's try 1999. I don't know what'll come up. Olympic pipeline explosion. 19 Calgary hub oil plant fire.
Dude, that's a dangerous job.
Yeah.
You know, oil is flammable, right? You know, oil is like flammable. All right. And it's humans working around. And these cats do like to get drunk and hang out all night and go to work. All right. Let alone the sabotage that's going on, because they all at war with each other. All these oil companies, quiet as kept. Right. They do sabotage on each other. Right. If you look up the Standard Oil Company, the history of the Standard Oil Company, they're the basis for your modern CIA.
Really?
Yeah. Standard Oil. Yes. The stuff they do, this counterintelligence, all that stuff they were doing to maintain their stranglehold on the oil industry.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So that movie, There Will Be Blood, that was kind of...
Yeah, that was they trying to isolate it. No.
But it was
Rockefeller
business as
that
usual.
Was just one guy. I'm talking about Rockefeller. He ain't play that, man. Rockefeller would have smacked that guy across the lip, took his oil from him.
Right.
Easily.
So, because I was thinking about that movie, White Noise, and how they had the train derailment and the explosion. It was a big black billowing cloud of smoke. Yeah. So basically, they just took what happens on the regular. And like you said, now the media is sexy. And so
disasters are money.
Right. And we're picking up on that.
Disasters generate ad revenue because people watching the TV to see. Come on now. You know, when we grew up, nobody was all excited. First of all, when I grew up, nobody cared about no snowstorm. It's snowing, be ready.
Yeah, I know, right?
That's it. You weren't inundated day by day and hour by hour with tracking the snowstorm and all that stuff like that. All this generates views, and that generates ad revenue for the stations. All right. That's called. Why do you think Saturday Night Live did that? They shot buckwheat thing. They was trying to show you.
Right.
Buckwheat. Stop. Buckwheat has been shot. You know what I'm saying?
They're
stopping it.
Slow motion.
Every time you turn around, they were doing something all of a sudden. News break. News flash. Buckwheat has been shot. All right. And then we showed you another part of it. Because they were showing you the news cycle. Because that's how it started. Even when this kept, when Reagan got shot, they weren't even that extreme.
Right.
All right. When it really got extreme is when OJ got arrested. That highway chase with the little Bronco going slow and everybody, and they stopped the NBA finals to follow. By the way, The Knicks were playing Houston Rockets, I believe, in the NBA Finals, and they cut it to show you a video of O.J. Simpson being followed by a whole bunch of police cars in a white Bronco going very slow.
And was that when CNN?
That was 1994.
Got started, because I remember they were doing like almost 24-hour coverage.
Yeah, exactly.
And it was just, I was like, this is insane, but it was fascinating.
That was the dawn of this modern area of the news cycle. Of course, that generates revenue. It's all about revenue and looks and views. All right, that's what they were trying to show you.
Okay.
And this Reagan got shot in like 80.
Right,
81 maybe.
And they didn't.
And they didn't do the duck. They were making a joke here.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't that extreme, but by 1994, it was off the chain. Right. And now it's really off the chain.
Right. With 2011, with towers, the World Trade Towers.
Yes.
It was
2001.
2001. It was constant coverage showing the buildings collapse. And that's when I started saying, wait a minute, this is disturbing for me to watch again and again.
It's designed to shock you and designed to put you in a depressed state. Oh. It's a control mechanism. Right. You can't have you feeling good running around here. You want to start thinking about how bad I'm treating you.
Right.
No, oh, come on. We have to enter. For example, when you're pregnant, if you disturb the pregnancy at certain points during the trimester, you can destroy certain. Each one controls developmental factors for the child. Right. So if I get you in the first trimester, I can disturb this. I get you in the second trimester, I can disturb. I get the third trimester, disturb this. That's why they call these things prenatal exams now. Why do you think you go to the doctor so much when you're pregnant? The child don't need all that attention. But now they got you going to the doctor all the time and prodding and probing and take these vitamins. See? All that is disturbing the gestation of the child.
Sonograms are actually quite invasive because it's a noise and an echo that's going through your whole.
It's a vibration. Uterus. And what does every cell in your body do? Vibrate. They have magnetic fields. Your developing fetus magnetic field being disturbed by the magnetic field of a man-made product. Right. All right. They're messing with you from cradle to the grave, before the cradle to the grave. Unnecessary, because the white man is a universal snooper. That's the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said. He's a universal. He's always trying to snoop in on what other people are doing because he's worried about the payback.
Aren't they?
Because they know that they will be paying somebody back if we put them do what they put. Though we did kind of put them do what they would. So it's in a lot of ways, this is a payback. But that's another story.
Okay, that's another story. That's thing I'm not going to ask you about.
That's a whole other story. Because don't start thinking don't think that we couldn't be ruthless. Don't even think that. You know what I'm saying? We got some of that save the whole world, save a whole shit, but we got some ruthless stuff too.
Though I do say I gotta defend us in terms of, if we were as bloodthirsty as they are, nobody would be here. Yeah. Nobody. Because we would have just been like, it would just be nonstop battles. We tried. I'm not saying whether we tried or we didn't, but
just couldn't do it.
The planet is still here. Do it. And it was in pretty pristine condition.
That melanin, that connection that Black folks have to the beginning of everything is a lifeline for everything. Right. Know what I'm saying?
Right.
Literally, your connection to that triple darkness is what keeps everything in order in a lot of, you know what I mean? Life is conducive to matter. Life and matter go hand in hand. Right. All right? Right. You would have to be in the antimatter universe for us not to exist.
And which an awful lot of people are about to go to. Yeah. But going back to this, because I want to see all your different. Should I go to the next one?
You go to the next one.
Okay.
It's just another thing to see time. That's more illustrations of the same process. Right. All right. So yes, you will build up toxins over time by eating a standard diet. All right. By eating the same thing over time, you will build up toxins. But as you eat further and further up the food chain, you will build up more toxins at an exponential level, which potentially even faster. That's the point I'm trying to make. Eat high on the food chain, you can build up toxins even faster.
Right.
Eating the cow, eating those big animals, big land animals that are in toxic environments, you're becoming more toxic because they eat other animals and they eat other animals. You know what I mean? That's called the food chain.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we eat the plant. Low
Right.
on the food chain.
Right.
Less bioaccumulation, safer.
Automatically.
Yes.
I don't even need a spectrogram.
Yes.
Now here's one thing I want to just state is why, if radiation is so deadly, aren't whole swaths of people dead? Truthfully, whole swaths of people are. They're just hiding it with other things that they rehearsed in global forums. How, what if a giant contagion breaks out all over the place? I mean, they had parts that they were all playing. And when I recognized, as they shut it all down and they came up with this instant solution and an injection, that was all to give us different reasons, different suspects on what was causing the die-off. And so in the radioactive contamination, what is different is that what they were telling us, and I have to keep repeating it, it's not what's killing these animals. It's not what kills the life forms. It's not what's, they're calling it an insectopolis. And once
insectopocalypse.
Yes, insectopocalypse. When the insects are gone, that is, if the algae and the phytoplankton in the ocean waters are the base of the food chain there, the insects are the base of the food chain here on land.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, you have the plants, but if we don't have the insects,
you can't pollinate the plant.
You can't pollinate the plants. And you can't feed them because these decaying insects are an incredible biomass. They return nutrients to the soil. And so you'll be dealing with vegetation that is literally starving to death.
Yes.
And that means you're eating something and you think you just ate something, but you really ate nothing.
Yes.
And so we are as connected to this planet, especially as the original people, as the rivers and the trees, and we tend to divorce ourselves from nature when we're all connected.
It's a cultural divorce. You take on the culture of another man. Of course, you're going to divorce yourself from that, which provides you real sustenance and real purpose and build your spirit. Of course, they had to do that. They had to disconnect you from nature to control you. Simple. They always trying to disconnect you from your home.
Right.
All right. That's you got to get a guy away from home to control him. At home, he's strong, so you got to take you out of your nature to control you. Simple. All right. That's why we take you. We take you from your parents, kill your parents off, and raise you.
Right. Right. And they kill the parents off with the TV shows, the programs.
I'm talking about killing the parents off.
No, I know, really, literally. But now we have a lot of children who they question the authority or the sanity of their parents.
And that's natural, but it was never like that. It's never like like it is now, warfare between the child and the parents, like Logan's War out here. Like, I don't trust nobody over 32. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, 32 is time for recycling. It's over. Yeah, so pesticides build up in the food chain, blah, blah, blah. If you go down, you see here this all-powerful signs of internal toxicity. Now, internal toxicity, that's a general term. All right. General term toxicity can be related to diet, poisoning, radiation poisoning, environmental poisoning, problems with your cardiovascular system, not breathing properly. All these things can cause internal toxicity. Right. Because if you're not breathing properly, you're not getting enough oxygen, you're going to be toxic. All right. You're sitting around all day, not getting no sunlight, you're going to be toxic. And that's just normal stuff. Now let's drop some particle radiation in there. Then what's that going to do? What are some of the symptoms of particle radiation poisoning?
Well, some of the symptoms is lethargy. That's one of the things I read about, that this whole what did they call it? Yuppie syndrome.
Yeah, fatigue is on that list.
Fatigue. Yeah, that increased exponentially with the opening of nuclear power plants and also with the test bombing. But with these nuclear accidents, and there are plenty of them. Fukushima is the biggest one ever.
Oh, they happen all the time.
But they happen all the time. And they won't even have to tell us about it.
In fact, don't they have a regular schedule of venting?
Yes.
Every nuclear power plant?
Every single weekend. They have to vent.
Dump what?
Yes. They call it the noble gases, but in the noble gases is particulate atoms.
Yes.
Because it's an atom. How you going to keep
where do
it
they
contained?
dump? What are they dumping?
They dump it into those big giant stacks. That's why they're so big. Because they have to emit it out, and they do it at night.
So when you see that smoke coming from those stacks,
that's the steam. That's the radioactive steam. And that's also radioactive tritium.
Yes.
That's coming out of there because they use the water, the fresh water, to cool down these reactors, because otherwise they'd all go into critical mode.
So how far away should you
live? It turns it
so
into
how far
tritium.
away should the average person live from a nuclear power plant?
Really, technically, from everything I've read, you can be affected by these suckers up to 200 miles away. They say 50 miles, but that's not the case at all. Because when Chernobyl blew off, there are places that are still restricted areas, and they're up to 250 miles away.
Check that out.
All of the Ukraine pretty much was heavily contaminated, and I haven't found the evidence thereof, but I am concluding that that is why it's become such a loggerhead, and there's a war supposedly going on there, is because they need to hide all those dead bodies. It would be really weird all of a sudden for the entirety of Belarus's population to go down by 50 to 60%.
They had a lot of stuff in Ukraine.
Yes, but when I look at the obituaries, one of the things that I see on the constant is all of the Europeans. They say the European death rate has gone up 11%, has absolutely nothing to do with any contagion or jabs. And in the Ukrainian area, that's one of the biggest die-offs of people that I run across in the obituaries. So I don't know. I'm just speculating.
Yes.
But at the same time, I think that's why they had to spark something over there in order to hide the death.
Well, the key is you have to strengthen your immune system to fight environmental toxins, no matter where they are. You're being surrounded by them constantly. All right. That's why I tell people you got to go ABC. Always be cleansing. Always be cleansing. Now, in real estate, they say always be closing. No, we're going to always be cleansing. Because there's always, you're being attacked constantly. All right. You walking down, you got up in the morning, you did your exercise, you took your supplements, walk outside, walk down the street, bust those fumes in your face.
Right.
All your work is just going out the window.
Right.
All right. All your stuff you did that morning,
right?
You use that, right? All your defenses, you just use that when you got that car, that face. That's why you ain't supposed to be running in these filthy places.
Yeah,
you're not supposed to be exercising in these filthy places. You can't exercise on a street corner where there's cars running by all the time. You're breathing in all this particulates, toxins from the car, right? And it's not just carbon dioxide, monoxide. I can't remember what they say it is come out of cars, but they have asbestos. They are all types of toxic stuff is in cars.
Right. So you're busy. You're
and when you're exercising,
oxygen.
And when you're exercising, how are you breathing? Shallow?
No,
deep breathing.
Right.
You're deep breathing everything in.
Right.
So you're gonna have to do some supplementation. You're gonna need vitamin D. You're gonna need some pine power. You need some vitamin C. You need some K. You need some E. You need some vitamin A. All right. B12, folic acid, folate. Ain't no way around it, fam. Do better, be better. That's why it's there. We got to do better to be better. All right. We got to take on new level avenues of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding and activate upon them. Utilize them. Live them things. All right. Here on the website, we got everything. I got stuff for your lung, got stuff for your cardiovascular system. I got stuff for your uterus. They call it the womb. It's for your uterus. All right. I even got some wisdom, some jewels in there about the Nation of Islam. Some very interesting reports. You can donate here.
Yeah. Yes.
Everything's here. We got the blog. with some documents on eating, stuff like that. Yo, everything is here on this website.
A sister let me know, and I love you, sister. You know, I know who you are. I just don't know if you want me to say your name, but that there might be a problem on the Patreon account. I haven't checked it out, but you could come right here and donate, or you could go right to my Cash App and you could donate there. And you help enormously, because I recognize, I was like, I need to put voice to what you have helped me to get, which is a collection of books on the truth about what radiation does.
And ain't nobody talking about.
That's nobody's talking about. That makes my voice authoritative so that folks are starting to pay attention. And it then winds up assisting everybody, so that I shouldn't be the only one. And I'm so grateful to Dr. Z for sharing this way, because I think even he was like, look, this sister's serious. She's studying this, and she's just finding verification. It's not her paranoia. It's not her, she's at home. She needs something to do besides knitting.
Word.
No, it's for real. So it's a beautiful thing to donate. We need to assist our warriors. So all the products here, they're going to help us in fighting on your behalf.
We're going to fight you. Anything helping you get your immune system strong is what you need.
Yeah.
And we even got soap.
Yes.
The black soap is perfect for that. That's what this black soap was designed for.
Yes.
Radiation. All right? That's what the new black soap was designed for. It's got carbon and activated charcoal in there for a reason.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
We got the Silbar. All right. Colloidal silver soap. Antibiotic, antiseptic, charcoal absorb toxins. All right. We even got the beauty bar in Zynga, which is also I use it to wash my hair. I don't use shampoo. I just use soap. I'm not into that. But I would wash my clothes with that soap if I had to. Like, give me that. I don't care. But I'm old school. It's funny because back in the day, like 100 years ago, you only had a bar of soap for everything. It wasn't no soap powders and stuff like that.
That's
true. You had a big old bar of soap, look like in Zynga or something like that. You use it for everything. You know what I'm saying? So soap is soap.
Right.
These are just different ways to sell you things. That's all they design.
And I have to say, first off, do the research on any of the ingredients. If you need to know the ingredients in case you haven't purchased a package yet, just ask me. And then you do the research for yourself. When I put together in Zynga, I didn't even recognize it is so curative for oxygenating your skin and your scalp is so good for the hair.
Yes.
Every ingredient in there, and it's safe for the babies. Now, the other one, Silbar and New Black Soap, I put on there, don't use in case you are pregnant, only because the charcoal because it is so magnetic.
It's going to adhere to nutrition.
Yes, it can.
Unless you're using it externally, though.
Yeah, you're using it externally, but still, just because I'm going to be honest. I'm not going to be like these folks who put poisons and everything and don't tell you what it's about.
Don't eat the soap.
Yeah, don't eat the soap. But at the same time, in Zynga, that's a powerful, wonderful soap. All the other ones are also.
It's designed to nourishing beauty bar.
Yeah, but I don't put stuff together unless it's going to do stuff.
On my indigenous apothecary, like I said, the real detox kit will get you going on your journey to really chelating those toxins, those particles out of you, the radiation out of you, because I know you're radioactive, bro. I know you are. You done had x-rays for every little thing. Every time you go to the doctor, they're going to give you an x-ray. Oh, you got a hangnail? I better put an x-ray. I got to go into the x-ray. They get x-rays for everything. Yeah. All right. And that's just x-rays. Imagine the stuff that you're getting from the environment you're eating if you got a particle or something that can be destroyed.
Those CAT scans. Those are radioactive.
Those are very MRIs. Yes. These are they put radioactive iodine in you to do the damn thing. So you know they're toxic. All right. You're going to need that. You're going to need some pine power. That's going to give you the power of the sun. You need the D3 actually helps your DNA determine what's real and what's not. That's how powerful D3 is.
Wow.
It helps determine what's real and what's fake. No, that's not real. That's fake. That pine power is no joke. All right.
Wow.
I got the pulmonary for me because I know I got a lot of people out here that suffer from lung disorders. Your lungs are jacked up. You're going to need the pulmonary care. Because you take the elasticity or the flexibility, or you clog up these little pulmonary, they're like little branches, right? You clog those little lung particles up in your lung, you can't breathe. You can't get oxygen. You're going to go into hypoxia. You're going to be You're going to be a home for cancer. All right, literally. Right. Fibroids and stuff like that. I got everything on here. Right. Let's go to the chat.
Okay.
You know about the website. Just go to the chat.
Right. Oh, chat room. You got it. Yeah. Oh, I love it. Okay. Good. I was waiting to get back to the chat room. Oh.
Yeah, there's more to talk about on this subject, actually, because there's a whole lot to this. All right, what was up?
Do we want to invite anybody on?
No, let's find out what's good. Okay. See if we got any questions, because I might not have time for that right now.
All right, I'm going to just take it from right here and greet everybody again. So, Sister Celestia Danes, Gwen B, Queen, I know who I am. Oh, thank you, Queen, very, very much. I appreciate that. I do my best. And Brother Yoda Khan, how you doing, King? And okay, that's who I see right there. So I'm gonna leave it right there. And everybody else, if you want me to shout you out, just put a comment there.
Going up, might be some questions or something.
Oh, that's true. You're right about that. Oh, that's good.
Somebody chatting up a storm. Somebody up there chatting up a storm.
Thing. I'm glad we pre-announced it. Peace, Brother Joe E. Good to see you, King. The Gulf of Mexico is what we call the ocean around us.
Yeah, right.
There you go. Yeah. And Sister Nubian Queen Shell and Fanny G. Let's see. And them and everyone that caused it. We all exactly, Sister Fanny. You got that right. That makes no daggone sense. I notice I'm like, why aren't we at war with China? If all this stuff started off in China, where did the war happen? Anybody could just, if this was real.
Here we go. Hemp seeds.
Hemp, right.
No, hemp is a problem. You got to here's the problem with hemp. Bioaccumulator.
Yeah.
If you can get some greenhouse grown hemp, knock yourself out.
Yes.
But hemp is a bioaccumulator, so you got to be careful.
And even with greenhouse grown, I advise calling the company to see if they filter their water with carbon filtration. At the very least, they should have also other heavy metal filters in there. It would be great if they used osmosis filtration.
Yeah,
but definitely
reverse osmosis.
Yeah, reverse osmosis. But definitely any cannabis vegetation is the number one bioaccumulator of radiation.
Yes.
And they use it around Chernobyl. So you run a great
You have
danger.
To be very, very careful, because I don't know if people understand what fallout is. You maybe want to explain fallout. But they use the term, right. But it's like fallout from what? Yeah. How does it get what's it falling from? What's fallout?
Well, in the troposphere, that is, like about 15,000 feet up in the atmosphere where the clouds form. That is where 85% of all the radiation from the nuclear bombs, from every single nuclear power plant, whether it has an accident or it's just venting, 85% of it doesn't fall down to the ground. It goes up into the atmosphere. And so when the rain comes down, and that's something, again, I'm reading more about in Deadly Deceit, certain areas, especially if they have a high amount of rain, they will have higher percentages of radioactivity to the point where whole species, their numbers will be reduced like upwards of 74%. The one I'm reading about where Chernobyl, when that first popped off, they were noticing first one scientist, ornithologist, would notice in his area that the bird populations were down. And then he started talking to other people around the country and found out the same thing was happening. And it's happening around the same date as Chernobyl's explosion. So they call that the fallout.
Yeah, so it's literally falling from the sky on you.
Yeah.
The sky is falling, Chicken Little. The sky is falling.
Yeah, it's what happened in Hiroshima where a black snow fell. That was just the incinerated, just ash of matter itself falling on everything. But that is not the extent of nuclear fallout.
The fallout doesn't end the same day of the explosion.
Yeah.
The fallout can stay up there for a minute, and it travels. Just like clouds travel. They don't stay in one place.
Yes, because a water molecule is a molecule.
Mm-hmm.
an atom of radiation is an atom.
Smaller than a molecule.
Yes, it's smaller than a molecule, and it will float. Some radiations are heavy metals, and they'll sink, but other ones will float up into the atmosphere. So you gave away 6 cans of lump crab meat last year. That hurt. Well, I hope you gave it away to somebody you really can't stand, who wanted it, but they said they would say, "Oh, hey, there you go. You gave them the knowledge, so can't do anything more than that." They would have bought it anyway. You probably gave them a brand that they were like, "So, ooh, this is a good brand." Oh, I'm glad, Sister Gwen B, that the food list helps you. It certainly helps me too. I've cut out so much based on Dr. Z and Arna doing that research so that we can know, no, this is not going to work with our melanin. Oh, thank you, Queen. I know who I am. I appreciate that very, very much. The radical cell damage. Yes. The way that it causes the radical damage is it breaks apart the O2 molecule, the oxygen, the dioxide or whatever. It breaks that apart so that it's then just monoxide. And that goes pinging around because it's unstable all throughout your body. So that is one of the ways that radiation furthers the damage. It winds up, one atom will kill 20 cells deep on a 3-dimensional spherical level. So that's why it doesn't take a huge amount. And everything I've read, they've known that low-level radiation is actually more deadly than a one-time high dose.
Yes, you need a chelation diet.
Yeah.
You need a chelation diet. Simple. Yeah. All right. And what else we got here? New virus. Yeah, I bet they are working on a new virus.
Which reminds me, actually, I did want to address what supposedly killed all these sea lions, and this is a recent one. Let's see, where do I have it? No, I must have it back here. That's the mass extinctions. Oh, I was reading about the atomic veterans. What did I do? Oh, there they go, right there. Nearly 3,500 sea lions in Peru die of H5N1 bird flu. Now, I've got my own particulars when it comes to viruses that I'm not going to get into. However, the radiation, because the radioactive iodine would be destroying your thyroid and your thymus, that's going to weaken your overall immune system response. So they don't have to say that, oh, these creatures, and they only show one. They don't show the whole beach covered in them, which I'm sure is what was the case. It was 3,500 of them. And I see other dead things too. At least 63,000 birds at 8 protected natural sites in Peru have also died since the start of the outbreak. It lowers all creatures' immune system responses. And so I've read theories from nuclear physicists and researchers that even AIDS, even though I wonder, it was really interesting that AIDS came about at the time of Chernobyl, the explosion of Chernobyl. So I wonder if that was another thing that was just pulled out of their, imaginary hats, because Dr. Africa had said that there really is no such thing as AIDS. And I agree, just based on the history of it.
What is AIDS? AIDS is an acquired immune deficiency syndrome. Look at the term. Acquired, that means you got it from something somewhere.
Right. You had
immune, immuno, that means just your response to
ordinary things. Right. Yeah.
Deficiency. I've acquired an immune deficiency. It don't mean nothing, right?
Right.
You can acquire immune deficiency by overeating. All right. All right. Not eating enough. You know what I'm saying? Eating only one type of food. You know what I'm saying? Come on. Anything could cause you a deficiency. And a syndrome is just a listing of different symptoms. That's all a syndrome is.
Right.
In other words, it's not a disease. It's a syndrome. It's a series of a list of symptoms that if you hit 5 or 10 out of 12, then they're going to say you got AIDS. All right. That's all it is.
Okay.
It's an acquired immune deficiency syndrome.
Okay, so it seems it was stated that it started before
alcoholism.
Chernobyl
Will give you an immune deficiency because it destroys your liver, right? Cigarette smoking will give you an immune deficiency because it cuts down the amount of oxygen you're going to absorb.
Right, exactly.
Taking a whole lot of antibiotics will give you an immune deficiency. That's why you think all these homosexuals, quote unquote, had AIDS. Because they were taking antibiotics and having all this crazy sex.
And also nitrates.
Yes, they were taking all these things to destroy your immune system.
Yeah, they were living that crazy life. So, yeah.
Come on, fam. Don't get started.
Yeah.
Don't get me started, that nonsense.
I love to get you started, that's for sure.
It don't even mean nothing. AIDS don't even mean nothing.
Okay, so chronic fatigue syndrome. Yes, that's it, Sister Gwen B. Exactly. And peace, beloved D. Griffin. How you doing? Let's see.
Fatigue. What does that mean?
Exactly.
I'm always tired. I'm always tired syndrome. He has the symptoms of always being tired.
I know.
Does Stephen Fetchit have chronic disease?
Chronic fatigue syndrome.
Or was he lazy?
There was never any sort of such thing. But as in my reading, one of the symptoms that the people who were victims of Chernobyl experienced was exhaustion because the radiological bombardment robs your body of oxygen. Yes. So there you go. You got free radical damage going on up in here.
Because cancer don't want oxygen.
Yes. Let's see now. Does the host sell herbs or have website with information? Yes. Let me type it right on in there for you, beloved. 25,000yearcycle.org. Now, when it comes to herbs, what I've learned from Dr. Z is what is a great thing about going to an herbologist is, especially a good one, is if they know the synergistic effect of different herbs.
The form, you need a formula.
Yes, exactly. A formula, because if you're just taking,
we make formulas,
right, one thing, and then you don't know that you got to buttress it with this and with that so that it's the most effective, you won't get a response.
You won't get the benefit.
Yeah, and then you'll just make an assumption that it doesn't work. Stuff works. It works.
No, you're not working.
That's we don't know.
Not you specifically. I'm just saying. Not that the herbs don't work. You're not working it. You have to work it properly. Right. You have to work properly to get the benefit.
Right. Exactly.
Yes. There's a whole system. That's why it's called holistic. There's a whole system to this. Health is a system. It ain't just one thing you do.
Oh, peace, beloved brother Yoda Khan. How can you get the soap? You go right on over to 25,000yearcycle.org
and you can order it right online.
And you can order it right there. Let me show you basically how you do that. I got it right up here on the tab.
You hit the buy button.
Yeah, you hit the buy button. But you could go on over to the shop. Or you could just scroll down and there's a soap right there and you click on that. And then right here, you could select the different, it comes as 3 bars in a 25 set. And you can also mix it up. You could get all new black, you get all silver, get all Nzinga. Do it any way you want to.
Or just get one of each.
Or get one of each.
Or 2 of one, whatever.
Yeah.
You can customize it.
And then your payment is guaranteed. This is a what they call it when it's privacy. I don't know. I'm just saying when you make your payment, it's like Amazon or any of the other ones.
I gotta take PayPal.
Oh yeah, he's got PayPal. Okay. All right.
Credit card, PayPal.
Okay, credit card or PayPal. So
your information, we got a pay system.
We got a pay system. That's exactly it.
I don't have their personal information.
Yeah, and this is better than the way I used to use it, where you just mailed me something, and beautiful people would actually mail me the cash to our PO box. And it all worked. You never heard a single complaint from anybody like, oh, I sent you cash and she robbed me. And no, I honor you. So definitely this is a much better system even than that. What did I want to share with you, family, before I forget completely? Oh, well, I'll just have to save that for some other share at some other time.
If you got any more questions, hit us up. else we gonna get out of here.
Yeah.
Any more questions? Hit us up, or we gonna be out of here.
Yeah, because it's 4:30. We've already been up here an hour and a half almost. Let's see now. I'm looking for questions. There goes me saying that. So all right.
That's right. We deliver fast, bro.
Thank you, Queen. I know who I am. I appreciate it. Yes, we get it out to you the next day if we can. If the post office is open, we getting it out to you.
Whatever. Post office, FedEx, UPS. I don't care. We ain't limited.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. We sent 2 packages out to the UK. So international orders, you can do that. If you are willing to pay for the extra postage, you got your soap.
Yeah, it might be cheaper just to come over here and get it.
Or you got your product. Yes, that's true. That's
no, I'm just
true.
playing.
Yeah. No, well, that's true. That's true.
No, I'm just playing.
No. Yeah. Oh, thank you so much, Sister Queen. I know who I am. That has been pretty much the review on all the soaps, and that it's moisturizing, but it slathers up really well, and the scents are pleasant and wonderful without being overwhelming, which is
you don't need all that.
You don't need all that
stink. You don't need all that stink.
Yeah, so it's wonderful. You're so welcome, Brother Yoda Khan. It's a joy to be of service. And thank you, Brother Jamal. I appreciate that. That's you saying super fast delivery as well. So yes, all our products, we just get that right on out to you, and it's for you. We're doing this because we see there's a need, especially I know with Dr. Z. He was actually genuinely affected by the passing of Dr. Africa. And I saw him just milling that about because he wasn't best friends with the brother, but he knew the brother. He studied with the brother. And he said to himself all at once one day, just out loud, he's like, somebody got to do this. Because there's too many folks out here just playing lip service to us, treating us, as he was saying, as if we're infants and we can't understand. We got people out here who we are really nice people. We're not mean people, because otherwise we'd be calling out a whole bunch of people.
Next week.
I'm
running the list next week.
But there's folks with product out here where most of the ingredient is just salt.
Trash.
It's trash. And they charge like $100 a bottle for the stuff. And it's little like 4 ounces.
If that much trash.
Yes. Okay. So we are tired of folks taking advantage of us.
Yes.
We deserve the best. And that's just a fact.
That's right. We're a national service. It's a national service. We need to reclaim our own bodies, our own minds, our own jurisdictions, and become independent again. Literally.
Yeah.
And you can't do that if you're sick and ailing all the time.
Yes.
Because you can't think straight when you're sick.
Yeah.
All right. So let's just start right there. We're just going to start with that. That's not the end. All right. I don't need, like I said, I don't need healthy slaves. All right. A healthy slave just puts more money in the master's pocket.
Right.
All right. We need healthy, free people. I'm out of here.
I mean, love you, family,
Peace.
So much. Peace and blessings. See you next time. Brother D.A. Son Productions. Good to see you, King. Peace, everyone.